Imagine who you could be if you just went to the gym a couple times a week for 1 year straight. Would you be proud of that version of yourself? Because most people never find out. Hi, my name's Kyle, and in today's video we are going to be simplifying getting in shape. The biggest excuse that people make when it comes to working out is saying, I don't have time. But we all know that time isn't really the problem. The real problem is that you lack having a system, something that gets you to the gym 3 times a week for a year straight. Because if you did, you would not have to rely on finding time every single day. So let's fix that. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people don't go to the gym because they're afraid of what people will think of them. So let me make one thing clear. Nobody cares about you. Let's rewind. I mean that in the most sincere way possible, but genuinely, nobody cares about you. Everyone is so focused on themselves and who they need to be when they're in the gym that they don't even have time to think about what is going around in their surroundings. Likewise, you need to be that same way too. You are in there for your reasons and you don't need to worry about anybody else for any other purpose. And even if somebody were to be looking at you or making fun of you, whatever your fear is, they're not the ones living your life. They're not the ones paying your medical bills. They won't be the ones that are playing with your kids when you are fat and out of shape and can't do it yourself. Only you can do that, and therefore nobody else's opinion will matter. So why let somebody else's opinion stop you from being someone who you can be proud of? Now, one common problem that's seen everywhere when it comes to getting into the gym is that people love to overcomplicate what it actually takes to lose weight or build muscle, whatever your goal is. People overcomplicate it. There's so much information out there, so I'm going to simplify this down into the most basic thing that you need to do. The bare minimum. You ready? Number 1 is go to the gym 3 times a week for 30 to 45 minutes. Not bad, right? Now for nutrition. 2 very simple things. Eat in a caloric deficit if you are trying to lose weight, so eat fewer calories than you burn every single day. And number 2 is eat an adequate amount of protein. Typical ranges are anywhere between 0.7 grams per pound to 1.2 grams per pound. Now the upper end of that might be a little bit extreme, but just increase your protein intake slowly week by week, and eventually you will find a level that's comfortable for you. If you are extremely overweight, just eat your target weight in grams of protein. So say you're 350 pounds, but your target weight is 190. Awesome. Eat 190 grams of protein. Now, some people don't know this, but protein is essential for almost everything your body and your brain does. But for the sake of this video, protein is going to help recover and build that muscle. Additionally, you don't need a perfect split either. So many people love to complicate. Are you running the PPL, the Arnold split, and all these different acronyms that get in the way? But as long as you are hitting every muscle group about 2 times a week and you are slowly trying to increase the weight that you are able to lift every single week you're in the gym, you will succeed. That's all you need. Now, to wrap up this section, a simple system and improving a little bit every single week. That is all you need to succeed in the gym. In my experience, the number 1 place that people tend to mess up the most on is not creating defaults for these actions. So what I want you to do is pick the 3 days that you can work out. What are the easiest 3 days? For a lot of people, they don't want to do the gym on weekends, and that's totally fine. If you want to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, awesome. Select that time slot, whether it's before work or after work. Set those days as mandatory gym days. The other days are going to be rest. The other days are going to be hanging out with family. It doesn't matter what it is, but for the purpose of this video, choose your 3 days. Now, the purpose of this is to create a routine. You have the days scheduled, you have the time slots scheduled. Now all you need to do is show up consistently. And the number 1 reason why we keep this simple is because the simpler it is to start, the easier it is to continue doing. And that consistency is exactly what we're looking for here. There's a quote I heard recently that goes something along the lines of, if you make the journey your goal, then every day is a win. In other words, if you start to enjoy this process, if you make this process enjoyable for yourself, then every day you win. And we've all been there. We've all tried to do that 5-minute ab workout and hope that we have abs the next day, or even right after the workout, you lift up your shirt and hoping that you have abs. But sadly, that's not the way it works. However, the process of actually doing this activity is exactly what you need to fall in love with in order to achieve these goals. And hey, who doesn't like to win? So the more frequently you can allow yourself to win, the more motivated you feel, and then it becomes this endless cycle of winning and winning and wanting to do more and more and winning all over again. And my absolute favorite part about this entire journey, and not to get too philosophical here, is that you almost become a better person as a result of being consistent in the gym or with any sort of exercise. You start to understand more about yourself, how you perform when you feel X, Y, and Z. You start to learn more about others in the gym, even people who you haven't ever talked to. You understand why they're in the gym, what they're doing. You start to have this whole new appreciation for people who are going through the same things that you are. And not only that, but I guarantee you after 1 year of this, not only will you have built a little bit of discipline on top of this system, but you have built confidence in yourself. And who doesn't want more confidence? But the reason why you'd have that confidence is because you showed up every single day. You made a system so that every single day you win, and that feels good. So the more you do that, the more confidence you have. And now you've built up this skill that you can transfer to any avenue of your life. And to address the elephant in the room, yes, you will have days that are very, very hard. You will not want to work out. Maybe it's pouring rain. Maybe there's some sort of storm going on outside. But you will show up anyway because you have built this system and you know that consistency will take a compounding effect. And because you've now gone exactly when you didn't want to, you are no longer relying on motivation. And that's very, very important. You go because it's built into your system. It's built into your identity. You are that person who goes even when you don't feel like it. And when you can change things at the identity level, on the inside of you, who you are as an identifying person in society, that is what defines you moving forward. So if this is you and you feel stuck right now, don't overcomplicate it. Keep things simple. Show up every single day you've said you would show up, and just try to progress little bit by bit. Because if you keep up with this for an entire year, you will hardly recognize your old self, and that's awesome. So if you are looking to become more consistent in the gym, click this button here to subscribe to the channel to see more videos. And if you are wondering how discipline is not enough and you actually need something more than discipline to stick with this program, click this video here. It'll talk about systems on a more in-depth level, and you will understand how to set things up and when. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end of the video. That's it for me. Take care.